Would you like to buy real estate in today's economy and pay zero interest on the purchase? If so, you came to the right channel because today we're going to talk about how you can buy real estate at 0% interest. And the best part is that debt won't even show in your personal credit. Welcome to Nova Rice, your channel for financial education. In here, we talk about investments in real estate, investments in the stock market, in precious metals, and small businesses. Before we start, let's level the playing field. Let's start by talking how not to get that debt reflected on your personal credit. Then we will leave the 0% interest, the fun part, for last. Now, there are two types of credit. First, there's your personal credit. That's the one everyone talks about, your FICO score, right? The higher your score, the higher the chances of qualifying for competitive rates. With your personal credit, every time you apply for credit, call it a credit card or a mortgage or a car loan, there is something called an inquiry that goes in your personal credit. And for every inquiry that you get, your personal credit goes down. And your score is also highly correlated to the amount of debt you owe. The more debt you owe, the lower your score is. That's what happens with your personal credit. Now, there's something called your business credit. And the beauty about having business credit is that everything that happens with your business stays with your business. Now, if your business is new, it is normal that creditors will want to rely on your personal credit score at first because since it's your business and the business on its own doesn't have any type of scoring system, they will heavily rely on you at first. But then once you get your business credit established, you can actually apply for credit and get access to fund to invest in real estate or to invest in your business. And the beauty of this is that because it's business credit, everything stays in your business side. It doesn't touch your personal credit at all. It doesn't impact your personal FICO score in any way. That's why I like to buy real estate to invest. Buying real estate and renting it out, that is my business model. And I use business credit for most of my real estate transactions because I want all the loans to stay on my business credit. I don't want it to touch my personal FICO score at all. Now, onto the fun part, getting business credit at 0% interest. Did you know that there are business credit cards that allow you to make purchase at 0% interest? These business credit cards come with an introductory offer of 0% interest that usually lasts somewhere between 12 to 18 months. And you can use these credit cards for your business. You can use it to buy inventory for your business, or like me, use it to buy real estate. Now, I know what you're thinking. What happens when the introductory offer is over and I'm not done paying off my card yet? Does that mean I'm going to get stuck with double-digit interest? Not necessarily. See, what I like to do is once that promotional offer is close to coming to an end, I request new credit cards with a 0% interest and I simply do a balance transfer. So that way I can continue paying off my debt at a 0% interest. Yes, I understand there's going to be transfer fees and stuff like that, but the transfer fee is a one-time fee and it's way cheaper than the amount of interest you'll be paying in the long run. Now, coming back to the 0% interest business credit cards, how do I get my hands on it? Well, I know a company that can help you. This company is called Fund and Grow, and they can help you get up to $250,000 in business credit, all through business credit cards at a 0% interest. For those who don't know, Fund and Grow is a done-with-you membership with a tested and proven lending program that have helped their clients get up to $250,000 in business credit cards. And today, we have the one and only Ari Page, founder of Fund and Grow. And he's here to share how you can make the most out of that business funding. And we'll also share tips that investors can implement in their business model to help them grow their real estate portfolio. And here we are with our special guest, the one and only Ari Page, founder of Fund and Grow. Ari, welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's an honor. I know you're a very busy guy, so we're actually very grateful that you make some time for us today. So jumping right into the nitty gritty, tell our audience a little bit about Fund and Grow and how you can help them.
So Fund and Grow is a company that does something very unique. We get a form of funding that's really, really easy to get. There's so many types of funding out there, but the funding that Fund and Grow gets for our clients is business credit cards. And we specialize at building up to 250,000 of these business credit cards, really specializing in getting the high limit cards. Then because these cards all come with an introductory rate, and the introductory rate could be anywhere from 6 months at 0% to 9 months at 0%. There's even introductory offers of 12 months at 0%. And there's some even longer than that, all the way up to 22 months at 0%. And what we do is, utilizing third-party services, we show clients how they can buy things like real estate, literally use a business credit card to put money directly into a escrow account, or how they could buy inventory for their Amazon reseller business, or really for anything that they need. So easy access to up to 100 or 250,000 of 0% business credit cards.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing, Ari. Now, when people hear about, hey, buying real estate with credit cards, sometimes it can come across as hard to believe, right? Like, oh, of course they're going to say that. But I know you have a lot of success stories that were able to grow their business, whether it was for real estate or Amazon or restaurants, you name it, right? So will it be possible if you can share a couple of examples of success stories over the years with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So with business credit cards, it's just like a credit card. So as you know, you can purchase virtually anything with a credit card. However, there are some times where a business might not accept credit cards. So then how do I purchase something with a business that doesn't accept credit card? Or if I need to get money into an escrow account, how do I do that? And so the wonderful thing is working together with the banks and not pushing against any of their banking bylaws or their regulations, but there is these third-party services. And I can give these away for free, actually, like Bill.com is one of them, Bluevine, Melio Payments, another one's called Plastic, another one's called Zill Money. And all of these services are beautiful, wonderful services that essentially what you do is you swipe your card with that service, and then they will send the money to the escrow account if you're purchasing real estate. And you can, obviously, as you know, you can fund an escrow account from multiple different sources. Or if you are looking to purchase something from a company that doesn't accept credit card, again, these services allow you to upload an invoice and then they will send a check. Or you could even do an ACH or a wire. So these bill payment services, these third-party services, really make it possible to use a business credit card anywhere in your business to purchase anything you need, and you're still going to get the cash back. You're still going to get all the rewards that these business credit cards come with. Personally, Fund and Grow is getting 10,000 plus a year in these types of rewards. I think actually probably 10,000 just in half a year in rewards. And that's because we're spending the business credit cards on things that we have to purchase anyway. Many businesses have things that they have to purchase anyway. Why not get cash back for that?
Completely agree with you, Ari. It's kind of like you get the best of both worlds, right? You're getting access to business credit. You keep them out of your personal profile. And at the same time, you enjoy the 0% interest and you also get the reward points.
So exactly. So, and Stephen G is an example of one of our clients who has specifically used funding for real estate. And he's used his business credit cards. He actually got 107,000 on his first round. And he mentioned that for years, he was a real estate investor who was constantly hitting brick walls. And a lot of investors can kind of feel that when it comes to growing their business, getting access to more funding. And that's the wonderful thing about these business credit cards. They're really, really easy to get. So he goes on to say, no matter how many banks he approached or how solid his investment plans were, securing a loan of over 100,000 to him seemed impossible. And the frustration kept building, and his dreams of scaling his portfolio felt more and more out of reach with every rejection. Then he found Fund and Grow. So he says he was skeptical at first, but he decided to give it a shot. And it turned out to be the difference maker for him. So in his very first round of funding, he secured over 107,000 in 0% interest business credit cards. And that was over a spread of 4 different cards. So today, Stephen was finally able to invest in 3 different properties on his terms, and he personally credits Fund and Grow for making it all possible. And that was just his first batch. there's still 2 more batches of funding that he's going to go through, and he's going to be able to build up a much larger aggregate amount of funding. We have clients that have built up to 600,000 of this type of funding. The better that the client comes with personal credit, the better their personal credit, the more funding they're going to get. But I will note that the funding does not appear on the client's personal credit, because it will report to the EIN. They just need to look at the personal credit first. So Stephen had fairly good credit. We got him access to business credit cards. He was able to use those business credit cards in his real estate business. Now, Stephen's not the only one to do this. When we have a minute, Lucilia, I would love to also talk about how I've personally done this as well.
That's a great anecdote, and you actually let me hang in there because I was waiting for more. Now you're like, well, we have a minute. I mean, if you want to share that right now, please be my guest.
Absolutely. So I've been applying for and utilizing these 0% business credit cards for a long period of time. And just yesterday, I went and added up all of my different loans, and turns out I have $2.2 million worth of available loans that I could use. And I was like, dang, maybe I need to be doing more investing if I have that available right now. So over a long period of time, I've been using this type of funding. And that has led me to be able to not only access the business credit cards, but also to be able to build up my Paydex score and my DUNS number, and to be able to get what we term as corporate credit. So corporate credit is different than business credit. Business credit is the business credit cards we're talking about, but corporate credit is separate from business credit cards. So like the building that I'm sitting in right now, which is an office building where Fund and Grow is, $1 million building. Well, hopefully worth a lot more than that now. It was $1 million when we bought it, along with another office building that I bought in our town here of Spring Hill. I bought completely using corporate credit. So I didn't have to have good personal credit. I didn't have to have good business credit. There's no personal guarantee. It's not tied to me in any way. It's 100% under the corporation. And I have multiple office buildings that I've bought using that type of funding. However, I didn't start by buying that. I started by first getting access to the business credit cards, building first 50, then 100, then 300, then more and more of that type of funding, which eventually led to being able to get loans directly in the business's name. Now, part of getting loans in the business's name is also having the revenue to support it. So when it comes to corporate credit, it's not only about having access to a good score and a rock solid profile. There's also other underlying requirements such as revenue. Now, the great thing is that with the business credit cards, it's a lot more forgiving. Clients are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of that with very little qualifications.
Yeah, it's an important thing that you highlight that. Overall, I think when we're starting in our investing journey, especially when it comes to buying real estate, we all aspire at some point to get something much larger than the usual single family homes that we typically start with. So it's kind of like an inspiration, I would say, sort of in a way, that to aspire to be able to have your own corporate building eventually throughout your investing journey. But it's important that you highlighted that, we all start at some point, and that in order to be able to qualify for this, we need to first build our personal credit, make it stronger so that way we become the face of our company, and then eventually we start building everything else under our business credit, and then eventually lead to more corporate credit in the future. And I guess that by then the results are going to be infinite growing, right?
Right. And there's just so much access. Like, for example, different businesses are buying things from different suppliers. The corporate credit funding works perfectly for these specific suppliers. Like, you can get corporate credit at Home Depot or at Lowe's if you're doing rehabs. So at first, sometimes that type of credit doesn't seem, as useful if I'm getting store credit. But if I'm getting store credit at a place like Home Depot or Lowe's and I do rehabs, then suddenly that's a really important, connection for me. Or if I'm able to get it at the electrical supplier or at a plumbing supplier. So there's a variety of different forms of funding that could be useful in someone's business. But another one of our success stories was a client called Nick Perry. And he actually started as a client of ours. Now, this guy is huge, and he's like a business mentor. He's definitely an entrepreneur, but in his words, he says that his ambitions often outpaced his resources. So a lot of times people are coming to Fund and Grow. They're in that same uphill constant battle. And so oftentimes that's why they will partner with Fund and Grow. So over the course of multiple memberships, because Nick was a client of ours more than once, he unlocked 450,000 in these business credit cards. So 450,000 in 2 memberships. And that was pretty much it. I mean, Nick sent us lots of clients. He's like, listen, I got to send all my friends over here. But it gave him the financial leverage to be able to think bigger, to act bigger, and to unlock much bigger deals. And he said that with this newfound capital, he was able to strategically invest and target specific types of advertising, which has really expanded his network. And I see Nick's ads on Instagram. He's one of these guys that has really, really blown up, and his ads are really, really well put together. He's far beyond us now at this point in terms of how fast this company has exploded. And it's really been exciting that we were like a tiny little part of Nick Perry's journey. I think as an influencer, we're going to probably hear more and more about him as he's getting bigger and bigger. But that was another example of someone using it in real estate, but also using it in his mentorship and business mastery programs.
Wow, it's a great sequence that you're having here of success stories. You've shown business credit cards are very versatile. They're not just for pure shopping and let me just go ahead and buy construction materials and fix any plumbing issues. But depending on how you use it, you can actually take your business and grow that to the next level, like the examples that you just share. So it's good that you share a little anecdotes like that just to help our audience visualize where they can possibly go. And it all starts with them taking action and just, testing things out until they figure out a way to just maximize every single little tip that either you or your team could be possibly sharing with them when they get in touch with you.
Yes, it's a common thing is that businesses are looking for funding. They can't find it. They're told that they have to have all of these different documents and all these hoops that they have to jump through. Then they learn about Fund and Grow and they're like, wait, you're telling me I can get access to a couple $100,000 and I don't need to give you my firstborn? And we're like, yeah, it's really true. And they're like, no, it's too good to be true. Too good to be true. And it's the same thing that I experienced when I got a 0% card for $150,000. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is literally a 0% loan of $150,000 for a year's period of time. That's powerful. If you're a business owner and you know about leverage, that is really powerful. And we have a lot of clients that are Amazon resellers, they're brick and mortars, and they're purchasing inventory. Another one of our clients, Josh says that he had always dreamed of being his own boss, but the deep lack of funding kept his vision out of reach. And he says no matter how hard he worked or how carefully he planned, every attempt to secure capital fell flat. He was a reseller. Having access to funding was just absolutely paramount to be able to get things at a better deal. So he says then he discovered Fund and Grow, and in less than 30 days from finding us, we helped him secure $98,000 in business credit cards. And for him, with inventory and things that he was trying to purchase, $98,000 on his first round, that was huge. That launched him. He said that was more than enough to bring his dreams to life. And with the funding in place, Josh launched his business and finally took control of his future. Today, he's living his entrepreneurial dreams, grateful for the support from Fund and Grow to make it all happen. And that's what we're doing every day. When we're bringing clients in, we are hand-holding them, taking them to the bank, teaching them the negotiation process, showing them how to extract the most amount of funding from the banks. So when someone comes to us, we're not only helping them get access to funding, we're teaching you how you can do it on your own, how you can continue this process with or without our help. Now, mostly clients come back to us, like Nick, for example. He came to us 2 years in a row. Many clients do that because they're looking for more than $250,000. But in some cases, some clients want to continue this process on their own. They see that it works. Fund and Grow steps them through the process. We show you how you can apply for these accounts, how you can get approved for them, how to speak to the underwriter, how to legally, correctly showcase your business in the most positive possible way, so that when the underwriters see what it is that you're doing, they want to approve you for the maximum amount. And this is what Fund and Grow does. We're taking people with good credit, we're taking them to the banks, we're helping them get more credit than they ever would have dreamed possible to get on their own. And we're doing it with the resource of their good credit that they already have. And the credit is not going to report or show up on their personal report. And we have a whole webinar, I know that we've done them before, Lucilia, where we teach people about all the different funding ratios, the credit ratios that are involved in keeping good personal credit. But suffice it to say, for everyone that's watching this video, when you're a Fund and Grow client, we're going to keep you in that lendable range. We're going to make sure that your personal scores stay high, so that every time we need to take you for another batch of credit cards, because it's called credit card stacking, we're getting more of these business credit cards and more of these business credit cards. Every time we do this, we need your personal scores to go a bit higher and a bit higher. It's opposite of what happens when you're leveraging your personal credit, because usually your personal credit goes down, down, and down the more you're using it. But this, we're using business credit. So the business credit cards give you more and more access. The personal credit stays pristine. We're able to continue the card stacking process, refinance any old debt that's on old credit cards where the 0% is expired, move them onto new cards, and continue the whole card stacking process. I could talk about it for days. It's so exciting. We get so many clients, hundreds of thousands of dollars of this. We are generally doing about $25 million of these business credit cards every single month.
All amazing stories. It's funny that, listening throughout your journey, it just make me think about my early days, right? And it's all about making yourself irresistible to the lenders. And the best part of what you do is that you don't have to give up an arm and a leg, or like you said, your firstborn, because like most people who are starting up a business, they will realize that, every time they knock on a door on a lending institution, for the most part, you're going to get the door shut, right? Because like the amount of documentation that it's required, like the amount of years that you need to be into business, the amount of years that you need to be providing them and bank statements and stuff. And so you help them get hope, right? Like, yes, you aspire to grow to that point, but in the meantime, you need to bridge that gap to, be able to get the funding or the financing that you need to grow your business to the next level. So thank you, Ari, so much for your time today and for, inspiring our audience with these amazing stories. And for those who are looking to get in touch with Fund and Grow almost immediately, you should. Here's the link down in the description box below where you can actually, sign up, and a member of the Fund and Grow team will be in touch with you to assess your current situation. And hopefully we'll hear your success stories in the next interviews that we'll be having with Ari Page. Ari, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience today?
Just that I believe that now is really a pivotal time when it comes to the economy. There's so many things changing. I think that we're about to see a big change in the landscape of the economy. And now is, I think, a really, really important time for us to position ourselves to be ready for all of the deals, for all of the upcoming, potential, good market deals that are going to be coming up. So that's what I think is important, is as entrepreneurs, to position ourselves and to get ready. Now, if you're already ready for these deals, then you're good to go. But if you need help, if you want access to unsecured, easy to get credit, then we would be honored to help out any students. And we've helped out, I think, literally thousands of Lucilia's students at this point. And we'd be honored to help out any that need access to funding. So thank you so much for having me on here today. I really appreciate it, Lucilia.
Thank you, Ari. And you're right. The best time to apply for funding is when you don't need it. So take action today. And I'll be seeing everybody on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.